Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Shoot 360. The future of basketball has arrived in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shoot 360 combines the latest sports technology with the fundamentals of basketball skill development. The result is a one-of-a-kind video game-like basketball program designed to improve your shooting, dribbling, and passing. Visit shoot360dfw.com to learn more and register for your free 1-hour workout evaluation. Shoot 360, the future of basketball is here. So confidence is something that, the more and more that I do this, the more and more that I get to talk to coaches, I realize that confidence is important for us to believe in ourselves, believe in our program, believe in our players. Yeah. But confidence with these, and I don't think it's just because of today's player of how aware they are of what everybody else is doing. But man, confidence, it might be that. Confidence is really hard for players to hold on to, I feel like. And what are some things that you do to help build it in your players?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I think initially, number one is finding out who they are, as people. I think as a coach sometimes, and I've had great coaches, I've had coaches that, I've had pretty much all great coaches, but I've had some that I felt more confident playing with than others, I'll put it that way. And so, the coaches I didn't feel as confident playing for, there seemed to be some type of wall up, and at the end of the day, as a coach, I feel like we're more so bridge builders than wall builders, so let's try to build that bridge and really try to pour into the relationship piece of it, and the reason why I think confidence is so important too is that you really need to see who they are outside of, basketball. I think that's the number one piece of building that confidence up, because if I look at you as just, player X, the basketball player, then it seems like to be a transactional relationship, you're doing this for me, I'm doing this for you, it's just like going to the grocery store and, buying some milk. Okay, I gave the cashier some money and she gives me the milk back. We both, got what we wanted, When it comes to a relationship building, and a knowing you outside of the game, it's more like a transformational relationship where I'm pouring into you, you're pouring into me, we're both growing together. You know what I mean? And so it's at least one of those situations where everybody has a chance to win because you're actually building that relationship up like that. So, building a relationship up initially, knowing them outside of the sport. And then when you get on the court, really trying to breathe that positivity in some way, shape, form, fashion, and really having a checks and balance system when it comes to that too, because we're all human. We have days sometimes where we're not on our A game, so having a coach or another person beside you to say hey coach, bring it down a little bit. Even players, this year I had players that would say man, they need to go easy on him, he's just a freshman, things like that. So things like that to really hold you accountable to what you're doing, but it's really just seeing them outside of basketball, building those bridges, making sure the relationship is transformational like that. And then at the same time, though, being honest and being authentic. You have to be able to breathe that confidence by authenticity, because anytime I didn't have the confidence to do what I wanted to do as a player, even as a person, I felt again, with the wall up, you're really not really being your true self. Whereas when you have that bridge and that connectiveness, you can be as authentic as you want to be. And so that lets him know that yes, you may not be the shooter that, you may want to be, or that, even we want you to be. But at the same time, though, we're on the same page. I'm being real with you. And so that it gives you the confidence to play within yourself and play with the skill set that we both had a discussion about. So, I'm with all that.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I think sometimes coaches and players, when they hear that word confidence, they almost think of it in almost in different arenas.
Yes.
I played my first college coach. He put confidence in us because we were so prepared.
Okay.
We knew the opponent, we knew his expectations, we were organized. And I think because of that might be where his confidence building ended, where you should be confident because we are prepared. That's definitely a part of it. But then I knew for a fact that when I got subbed in, if I made my first shot, or if I didn't turn it over, if I did something positive, then I may play a ton. But the opposite is true. If I miss my first shot, then so the amount of Added pressure.
Mm,
Maybe the lack of confidence that I had going. I was playing more out of fear,
yes,
fear of
sir.
making mistakes, fear of
Absolutely.
looking over at the bench and not knowing. And I think that's where, okay, we need to make sure that players understand where their confidence comes from. It doesn't
Exactly.
come from us. It comes from their preparation and then what they think about. But then we have to acknowledge
100%.
the environment that we create that
Yeah.
allows for confidence to flourish, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where like when you have you have different ways of kind of showing them again, just being the authentic thing, like knowing thyself and knowing who you are, and we'll do things. I mean, even outside in the spring, this time of year, especially when I get over to the new place, but we usually do things in the spring where we do like a Wisdom Wednesday, and Wisdom Wednesday is like some type of either character building curriculum or some type of thing where we kind of speak life into the kids. It could be something as small as, hey, these are our 2 words for the day, or it could be something as big as, sharing our testimony with them, sharing an experience we had, whatever. And so I do think that like when you know thyself, it's one of the best skills people can have, like knowing who you are and knowing who you're not, and the biggest thing too with that is also, and another level of that is really knowing the people around you too, and so
Mm.
it's all about the conversations you have. It's all about being able to, again, like break those walls down, and kind of really pour into people, and it gets kind of ugly at first sometimes because, you may not want to know all the skeletons I have. You may not want to know everything that I have that I'm struggling with because you might, initially you might think that like that person may look at you differently, but all in all, though, I feel like, if you break it down a little bit, then you can build it back up, to where you guys have that synergy, and that's what we're after. So, like you said, I mean, the confidence can come from preparation, and it does come from preparation as well. When you have that preparation mixed with, the added pieces like my coach knows I can do this, he has confidence in me to perform at this level, then it takes it up a different level, and we've had teams and we played against teams that are very, very prepared, but like we can see things during games and see kind of tendencies that like, okay, yeah, he's prepared, but like we can take him completely out of his game just by face guarding him for 2 possessions or something like that,
Yeah.
just something small, and like those are things that you have to make sure you're building from within, and making sure the kids understand that like, I'm just not confident in you because your preparation. I'm confident in you as well because of your actual skill set and things you provide for us. So, but being real, man, that's what brings that confidence up. Being real, being authentic.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.